Hey folks, it's Shane. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. It's been a few weeks since the Hurricane Helene went through and Milton went through a few days ago. And on the ham radio channels and prepping channels related, a lot of talk about what's going on down there from up here in Wisconsin with people without a license using the ham frequencies, and some of the pushback and guidance they're getting from hams. I'm hearing a lot of stories, a lot of different perspectives, and given the wide range of all this and how everything's very different in each situation, I have no reason to not believe pretty much everything I'm hearing. I'm hearing of hams being very helpful and relaying messages with people that they know don't have a license and working with them in the nets. And I've heard of hams putting up a stone wall, even jamming them and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of comes down to the whole backwards process that we have for licensing, right? Now, my angle, like many people that got into ham radio, I have a self-preparedness, self-reliance, preparedness background. And I see having ham radio as an awesome tool for that, which you're seeing playing out right now in the hurricane areas where our government's failing us miserably. And the good citizens, the prepared-minded people, and just around good people are taking it in their own hands and helping each other out, which is awesome. And a lot of it is they're using ham radio for communications. Now for me, I went through and I got up to the general license. I studied for my tech in general, knowing that a lot of it is outdated and dry and boring and not useful for me. Although I see the purpose, especially the safety stuff and the common courtesy, a lot of the antenna theory and schematic reading, for me it was not applicable, but that's neither here nor there, right? I think we can all agree that the licensing process could be updated and streamlined. For one thing, making tech a little easier to get people through that gateway, and maybe even bring back the novice license would be a good idea. But that would require an undertaking of our federal government, which I don't think is capable of doing that. And the way they're handling the hurricanes with everything, yeah. So again, it goes back to us. We're gonna have to help each other out. So what I've seen a lot with the hams is, we got the little caveat, which is the reason why a lot of people won't get their licenses, because in case of emergency, you can use one of these. In case of emergency of life and death, great property harm, that kind of stuff. I need an ambulance. The phones are down, someone get me an ambulance. I'm in a boat, it's storming out, I'm taking in water. Those are the times where nobody can argue that a non-licensed person should be able to hop onto a ham radio and call for help. Where it gets a little gray for some, but still black and white for others, is past the rescue stage and into the recovery stage, which we're on now in Appalachia, where checking into a net without a license to say, hey, can you let my mom know I'm okay, I just don't have power? Well, your mom would think that's an emergency. In reality, you're not an emergency, you're not in danger. Coordinating chainsaw crews to help clear roads and stuff, while fantastic and helping fix the situation, is by the definition not an emergency. And this is where right now we're getting a lot of pushback from hams, and this is where I think it can change. While I can't argue to the letter of the law, a bunch of buddies coordinating with ham radios to get chainsaws and skid steers and whatnot to where they need to be is not an emergency. I think us hams should kind of turn a blind eye to that and work with them. We can be the protectors and the guardians of the hobby and cross our arms and go, none shall pass without a license. and block these people and be a dick to them. Or instead of being the guardian to the hobby, we can be the good ambassador to the hobby of saying, hey guys, what you're doing ain't legal, but it needs to be done. Work with us, we'll work with you. Meaning, offer them access to your repeaters. Help them program your radios. Tell them the best way to organize a net. Offer to be net control for them, for their nets, to get the feel of it. And then that will give them the hands-on knowledge and experience to see, hey, maybe getting my tech license for other times will be worth my while. And then make the deal with them saying, hey, we're going to let you use our nets. We'll give you a tactical call sign or something if you want to protect your identity, but we just need to identify who's on it. If you do that with us, we're going to work with you so you can get your license. I know it sucks. I know it's boring, but there's some guys in our group that actually enjoy this shit, and they'll be more than happy to help you get through that test. We'll work on it together. That's how you grow the hobby, is by reaching out to those who are wanting to get in or are interested to get in but don't want to go through the effort. Instead of being the dick and blocking them because they're not going to go through the effort because, well, you had to, so they have to too, why don't you be the nice guy and help them? Be the coach, be the mentor, be the good neighbor. So that's my thoughts on what's going on with amateur radio and the hurricanes and stuff. And don't make it necessary for an emergency to put this in place. Use this example for you. Here in Wisconsin, we don't have to worry about hurricanes, but we do have ice storms and blizzards and occasional tornadoes and wildfire that wreak the same havoc. So working with people before there's a danger makes the danger a lot easier to handle. Same thing with you that have to deal with mudslides or earthquakes or whatever the danger is. So use these people's bad times to be a field guide of how to improve your situation. So that's my 2 cents. I know there's been a lot of other people who are way more experienced or elegant on saying what needs to be said, but that's my take on it. So I hope you found this useful and all that kind of stuff. So catch you later, folks. Have a good one.